Cowboy Nation, how are you doing today? How you doing on this wonderful Saturday? Um, Wonderful Saturday, man. It's a beautiful day here in South Carolina, man. One of the cooler days. We've been having oppressive heat, man, for the last 2 weeks, man. But he indexes in 110, 111. And today we had a beautiful day of 77 degrees, man. So that's remarkable. Um, as people come in, I hope I'm getting in before a lot of my cohorts get. It's been a very, very crazy time in Cowboy Nation today. In the last couple of days, sorry, I got all this crazy stuff. Uh, it's been a lot of crazy stuff going on in Cowboy Nation for the last couple of days, man. Um, uh, and I know a lot of people have been sitting around and hopefully some of my fans out there, you have been saying, well, I wonder what Coach Marv said. And if you follow me on Twitter at Coach Marv, X at Coach Marv 1914, our first thing I posted is I posted back in March of 24 a poster that the Cowboys have in their locker room and says it's a privilege to play, to coach, and to be a part of the Dallas Cowboy organization. No, it's a privilege, not a right. And my post back then, the word privilege, I had a problem with that. Because not only do this organization want people to take lower salaries, they want people to hold out, they play the lowball their coaches. There's been reports that they got they don't have enough staff, training staff. They one of the lowest in training staff of people for the guys that's getting people uninjured. As well as one other thing. They make us as fans feel like we're privileged to be fans of the Cowboys. And people out there, I've been a Cowboy fan. I've been around for all the championships. And for me to say, I'm feeling like they making me feel like I'm privileged to be a Cowboy fan. That's almost saying that they're telling us as fans that it's not important for them to make us happy. We should feel happy just to be able to root for the Cowboys. And I've learned in life, when you have a product, when you start thinking that your product is you're not making your product good enough to make people happy, and you start thinking that your product when you start thinking that your product, that people should be happy just to be in your product, like having your product, you have went over the line of what we call of ego. And that ego can turn fans off, or that ego can stop making you work hard to improve your team because you feel like it makes no difference what I do. They're going to love me anyway. And I'll throw anything out there to you. And I want to point this out because, see, the Cowboys, and I'm going to say some things that some of y'all that are Cowboy fans know it's true, but sometimes the stars in our eyes making us don't realize the truth behind it. See, they talk about Dak Prescott, his $60 million contract. It's one of the best structured deals in the league when you're talking quarterback. Nobody talks about that. Even the ESPN don't talk about it. They don't never talk about the structure of his deal because everybody knows it's cap-friendly in structure. Even though when Dak is a $60 million, $50 million cap hit, it just ain't but one flip of the switch where they can convert and get him back down to a reasonable level that's not that doesn't hurt. Signing Michael Parsons is not a deal breaker this time. They got $30 million of cap money almost right now. And when you sign him to extension, that's going to even give you more cap money for this year. But they want to make it seem like we're broke. But I'm going to give you some real facts that you need to think about as Cowboy fans. Why is your coaching staff of the team that you love, that's probably in value, the highest value team in the league, and in the last 15 years, you have had the lowest paid total coaching staff in the league? Why? Why is the reports coming out saying that players said that we need more staff in our training room? And I bet you if you go into Dallas right now today and you was to interview the people that work for Jerry's World, I would guarantee you that they're nowhere closer to being the highest paid vendors, staff, cleanup staff in the league. It's possible that they probably one of the lowest in the league. We have put out we have showed this, and the NFL has talked about this over and over again, that when you talk about cash money, now I'm going to give y'all some stuff, but see, these things that y'all don't understand, and these are not because somebody digging, these are true things. There is a certain thing where they say cash money. Dak is, let's say Dak is 60, they say APR $60 million a year. That don't mean that year you're going to put out $60 million. They say that the Cowboys' actual cash payouts during the year, not what your contract is, the actual cash that they're kicking out for the last 5 years has been the lowest in the league. So your coaches who are not on no salary cap is the lowest paid. I'm quite sure Schottenheimer ain't making $5 million a year. That's on the very low end of coaches for the highest paid or highest value organization in football. How is that? How is that? It's not because they're broke. It's that word privilege, I'm going to say again. When somebody think you are privileged to be a part of something, they lowball you. Because they think you should be proud just to be in the job. Isn't that how these negotiations go with their players? That they talk in a way like, you should be happy that you're here? Don't you get that feeling how they talk in press conferences when they talking to our fan base? We got content creators that are big time content creators that go to training camp, that support this team, that got viewers all over, and the Cowboys do nothing for them. They act like they don't exist. You got other teams in this league, if guys that are half as good as the content creators we have go to their training camps and this team organization treat them like kings. But they make us feel like, hey man, you are privileged just to be able to root for us. And when we start taking that, when we start looking over stuff because we get the stars in our eyes, and we start letting them set narratives about other players that makes them feel like why they, it's all about that Dallas is everything and it's all be. Yes, we love our team. I love the Cowboys. But let me tell you something. Football is played in 31 other cities. And listen here, Jerry Jones is nowhere close to being the richest owner in football. Now, see, he may have the highest value franchise, but his pockets ain't bigger than Carolina Panthers owner. His pockets ain't bigger than the guy down in Atlanta. His pockets ain't bigger than the guy in New England. No. These other guys are billionaires. Now, his football team may have some value, but when it comes down to paper, he's not the top. But he gives the persona like he running the NFL. I talked to Boss Cowboy, and me and Boss had talked about it, and I said this on many shows about a long time ago when we was going through the Dak Prescott thing. And I said, when Dak Prescott was going through it, I said, the disrespect, only way you're going to get, and that was right after that privilege thing. I said, the only way that we're going to break this privilege thing is one of these big-time superstars, Mike Fisher, Michael Irvin, all reported that this has never happened in Dallas, that a big-time superstar on that team has actually come out in the media. He might have said it behind closed doors, but come out in the media and say he won out. And this is the first time, and I say that had to happen. And now I'm finna get y'all really upset. And I know some people going to say, well, Coach, you ain't no Cowboy fan. For the good of the Cowboys, I hope Micah say I'm taking it all the way to the hill. For damn what y'all going to pay me. I'll take less somewhere else. Because that's the only way you're going to break this arrogant attitude. I made a post that says, and I told y'all in the beginning of last year and all this year what the star represents. Star, the STAR, the Dallas Cowboys star, when ownership started acting like this, arrogant. The star stands for stubborn, tumultuous, arrogant reactions. Go look those words up. Stubborn, tumultuous, arrogant reactions. And that's what this is about. The arrogance, some of the stuff they say out there, tumultuous type stuff they say, the stubbornness, and the way they react is full of arrogance. I applaud Michael Parsons. If he's serious or not, but he had to stand up and say, hey, the Cowboys ain't the only place to play. I think some of our own fans feel like this is the only place that you could be a star at. No, it ain't. They pay checks other places. And with the internet, your podcast ain't local. It's worldwide. You could do the same podcast in Okefenokee Swamp, Minnesota, that you could do in Dallas. And the craziest thing about this man, I had just put a post out right before he said he wanted for a trade, and I said, some of y'all remember, I put a post out and said, Micah, take your butt home. Get out of Oxnard. Go home until they get ready to talk serious about signing you. Get out there and go to work and get back into your workouts. Because to me, he looked like he's gaining weight in training because he ain't doing nothing. Get out of Oxnard. Go home and get back to your regimen of working out. Ain't no need to talk to the media no more. You said what you gonna say. And I'm gonna tell you something else. The reason I came on here today was the same arrogance came from Jerry today. And the headline says Jerry squashes that trade idea. We ain't gonna trade him. Do y'all see what type of attitude this is? Do y'all see how this country is being run? Y'all don't see the same attitude with the Cowboys? Let me tell you what other teams do. When that multi-superstar say they want to trade, other teams do two things. One or two things. One, they don't make no comment, they get a damn deal done. Or two, they get your butt up out of there. But they don't go through this arrogance like, well, you're in a contract. Know what that sounds like? You're on the contract. You my property. I'll get to you whenever, but you can't go nowhere. Well, that's fine. And that's true. But if I was Micah, I'll say it's true. And you can franchise tag me. I could go through this year. You can franchise tag me next year. And then you can franchise tag me the next year with a 20% bonus on top of that. And they ain't going to do them hurt your salary cap because ain't no spreading that cost out. You got to carry that whole weight. That's fine. Let's play it that way. But I'm going to play enough to play, but I'm going to be healthy with my next contract when you can't franchise me 3 years. And take that how you want to take it. And ain't a damn soul on that team or coaching staff should have a problem with that. That's what I would tell them. Don't worry about it. When I get in 3 years, I'm gonna give me a contract someplace else and I'm gonna be healthy. Take it how you want to take it. What you mean by that? I'm gonna go enough to play, but I'm gonna take care of me. Y'all might not like it, but we're gonna play that game and I'm gonna make your money and mess your salary cap up. That's how it goes. Because that's an arrogant thing about, well, he didn't say, hey man, we want him here. We gotta try to get something out. We cooler heads, so we want to make it resent. No, when you start talking like, well, dismiss that, that's like, well, hey, don't worry about it. We got control. I heard some people on the radio talk about the day when Cowboys, some national people talking about, well, Jerry and them got to, they could just say, hey, he's still in the contract and they could cap him. They could salary cap him. They could franchise tag for 2 years in a row. Okay. If you got salary cap to carry the whole weight of a contract, you could have been signed. But the arrogance, y'all don't see the arrogance in that? It's just like this country. It's something that Jerry caused, and then he got an arrogant reaction about something that he caused. How you gonna get arrogant when you caused the problem? Because one thing, I posted in something like this. See, they're trying to do this spin now that yes, Jerry got a deal with him a couple of months ago. And let me explain to you, I'm gonna say this again to y'all because I think somebody in the room don't understand this. I want y'all to stop thinking that Jerry could have signed him months or years ago. It takes two to do a deal. There's not an agent in this whole entire world that will let Micah sign a contract before Myles Garrett signed his and before TJ Watt signed their deal. So why? Let's actually, here again, I'm going to explain this again. For some people, they don't understand. And maybe y'all would say, hey, man, that's logical. And logic really works in this world. TJ Watt, the Pittsburgh guy, and the guy from Cleveland, Myles Garrett, are on their third big deal. When they got their first big deal after their draft thing, both of their deals set the precedence, the lead in the room at that position. TJ Watt was the first one to get $28 million. Myles Garrett was the first to get 30. Now they're on their third big contract. When you get to your third big contract, you feel privileged. You're not worried about if you're the top paid person. You just worried about saying, hey, I'm trying to finish my career. Let me be in the top. I understand there's going to be some other guys that are going to come past me, but I already set the barrier on my second contract. The guy in the Rams at the Las Vegas Raiders, he's on his second or third contract, big contract. What big contract is this on Micah? This is his first. This is his first after his rookie deal. His agent is not going to be the first person to sign. He wants Micah to set the market because that's what these guys did on their first deal. It's time for Micah at his age to be the top dog for at least 2 or 3 years. So the agent said, hey, they already know that these guys, when listen, that stopped it. Micah contract negotiations stopped with his agent when Myles Garrett said he wanted to be traded. Because you know what he said? Okay. Myles Garrett said he wanted to be traded. TJ Watt was on his last year's deal. His agent said, yeah, that's why Jerry went to talk to Micah, because he couldn't talk to his agent, because the agent ain't want to talk to him right then. Because the agent said, ain't no need to start talking till these guys sign their deal, because Micah, on his first big contract, need to be the lead. Tell me, people, that don't sound like common sense. So there was nothing Jerry could do. So what did he try to do? He circumvented it and tried to talk to Micah. And there's a rule that when you get represented by a licensed agent, you could talk to your player, but you don't supposed to talk about contracts. You're supposed to run that's supposed to go through your representative. The NFLPA put that rule in. Yes. So this gentleman's agreement that they're trying to run this thing about trying to sully Micah because he told me he's not a man of his word. The reason why he went to Micah, because his agent didn't even want to talk to Jerry at that time, because he was not going to sign a deal until what? Till Garrett signed his and TJ Watt signed his. And when the last domino fell with TJ Watt, that's when Micah got concerned, because then Micah said, okay, it's now time to sign my deal. And the Jenny Joneses act like they didn't want to talk. Y'all tell me ain't that how it went? Because Micah wasn't upset until TJ Watt signed, because that when his agent told him, okay, now Micah, it's time to just get our deal. And then the Cowboys start talking all this crazy stuff, start throwing him under the bus. Talking about we had a deal before, why you ain't signed that deal. Micah is on his first, so Micah should get that privilege to be the top dog because he's younger. This is his first big contract. That's how this stuff works. Everybody keep thinking about these people can sign these people early. The agents, listen here. If your agent signs you for a contract, it's your big deal, and you sign so early at the level of pay it that year, and then you have 5 or 6 people sign over top of you right after you sign, guess what's going to happen with that agent? He ain't going to get another client in the NFL. Because they're going to say, you stupid. What you jumping for? It's an easy thing with this one, because he already know that Myles Garrett is going to sign quick. Because what I told you, guys on the third contract, they're not trying to hold out. He is fortunate to get a third big contract. He on the back end of his career. He don't care if he's a top playing guy. He just want to be up there at the top. Micah gonna be the same way if he get to his third year. TJ Watt the same way. Micah got to get the bigger contract now because this is his first big contract after his rookie year. And his agent was not going to talk to Jerry until those dominoes fell. Remember, Jerry used to say, when he was talking about CeeDee Lamb, he kept talking about, we got to wait for the leaves to fall. Y'all remember that? He just telling you what the agent's telling him. The agent said, man, we're not signing till the leaves fall. And then all the leaves fall on the ground, then we'll know where to go. You can't con us you can't con Micah into signing that 2025 rates and everybody else signing that 2027 rates. Come on, man. And you ran that by Micah, and when his agent said, oh, no. Micah, we're not signing until we see what Myles Garrett get and TJ Watt. And you could have gave him $1 million more than them, and Micah would have signed. Because you offer him a contract more than TJ Watt and Myles Garrett and make him the highest paid. Not to leverage in your part. Because he turned that down, everybody gonna be like, well, what else he want? But this ain't what they did. They knew it was time to negotiate, and then they went silent. And Micah said, that's what we told y'all. When they said it, hey, if it's just reasonable, if it's $1 more, we'll be all right. And then they went silent, act like they didn't want to talk. And then they want to start selling him in a minute. Just how it went. If you hear any other story out there, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's just how it just went. And you got common sense, you can say, you know, son, that's logical. And then you come on and act like you John Wayne, like everybody's supposed to bow down because they want to play in Dallas. You already know you can use the franchise tag on. You do franchise tag on quarterbacks, and nobody else did that. Because that's where you want to play this game like you the best. And that arrogance is going to cost us a Super Bowl. That arrogance, you can't set a culture in that arrogance. And that's not good business. You could be Carnival. You could be Norwegian if you're a cruise line. You could be Walmart. You could be Dollar General. You could be Macy's department store. You could be anything. When you start thinking that your product is so good that people are privileged to do your product and you don't care how you can throw them anything, you're on the way down. Because somebody else will find something else just as good. And be treated better. Micah go somewhere else and make a couple $1 million less and be treated better and be on a better culture and win more and make more money on the back end and wouldn't give a rat's butt about what he could have made at Dallas. Until we get humble and understand football first and this arrogance we got, that this league don't care about it. They just care about busting our ass on Sunday. And we worried about how arrogant we can go and how we can play John Wayne games. Like we the Duke. And everybody supposed to bow down to us. Come on, man. I don't believe Micah been asking no $50 million. I think Micah wanted the exact same thing that he was entitled when it was his turn. When it was Myles Garrett's turn, he set the market. When it was TJ Watt's turn, he set the market. When it was the guy from the Raiders, he set the market. All of them did that on their first big deal after their rookie contract. And Micah feels that he should be the one on his first deal. And it ain't got to be $10 million more. If Jared then would say, hey, we're gonna structure it in a way, and we're gonna put you, yeah, 1 million. You can say you set the market. And if that's the case, they can go with that deal. And then if Micah say, hey, I want something that's way over top of that, then what you do is you accommodate him. But you don't mess around with it. Do y'all remember the Joe Clark? And I'm about to get off the track, but I remember. Do anybody remember Joe Clark movie? Stand by Me. If you're in the chat, tell me you remember the movie Stand By Me with Joe Clark. And this relates to what, if they can't come with a deal, this relates to that. And you know something? Remember the part when the little fat boy, Joe Clark, was talking to him and he told him he was smoking crack? And Joe Clark took him straight up to the roof and told him, say, don't fuck around with it. Go ahead and jump. Ain't no need to mess around. You smoke crack, get my way, jump. If you can't get a deal, don't mess around with it, Jerry. Go ahead and say, hey, we need to get rid of it. That's what all the rest of the organizations do. Kansas City say, we offer you Tyreek Hill a deal. You said that deal didn't fit what you wanted. It didn't take 5 minutes for them to say you was an all-pro, find a deal someplace else, and we're going to trade it, and we're going to be all right. They didn't mess around with it. They went in and jumped. Other organizations, if you don't want to be there, if we offer you a competitive, great deal, and you don't want to be there, but when you try to play this John Wayne thing, that tells me you ain't never offered him a competitive deal. You knew his agent wanted to talk soon as TJ Watt signed, and what you did was you played this game and said, we're going to shut up. And then you start shooting stuff out in the media bad about it. Then you start talking bad about it. This is what I'm saying. Stubborn, tumultuous, arrogant reactions. That's what the stars mean in the front office right now. So I'm saying, Jared still is sitting up there telling people that you dismissing, that you're going to trade him. Get the damn deal done and let's go on. Show your first year head coach some respect to say, hey, I'm not going to have this big damn controversy hanging over your head when you're trying to change the culture and win games. Jerry, you got a good football team. A damn good football team. This arrogance is about to F up one of the best football teams you got. And remember, you 80-some years old. You ain't got much longer, buddy. So you can play this arrogant game you want. And you'll be watching the Cowboys through a casted lid. You got a good team. You got a great coach trying to put in a great culture. It don't need this type of stuff. Remember I told y'all about culture? I told you that it's going to go through some tests. And I said, it's going to go through some stages. The stages of, of the culture. You got everybody is the excitement stage. Everybody's still in that kind of dimmed a little bit. Then you got the adjustment stage. And then I said the third stage is the testing stage. And remember when I said in my show that you're going to get, that this culture is going to get tested by the media. It's going to get tested by players. And it's going to get tested by the front office. Remember that? Coach, listen, man. One thing about Coach, you're going to get information if you keep watching TV and keep watching this saga. One thing I'm telling you about what football going to always come back around, and you're going to come back and you look at my stuff, you're going to say, damn, Coach said that. Your own organization is testing your culture now. Your own organization. They're testing, can you keep this thing in the rate and keep the focus on winning? Your own organization. Listen, man, think about this, Cowboy Nation. Think about this. This organization is just like the arrogance is. They never say they divorce people. They never say nobody divorced them. Y'all know some people out there that date people or have jobs or something, but it's never them. It's never that. It's never that the people let them go. It's that they wanted to go. Nobody quit them. They always be the one to say, "Oh man, I don't feel like I ain't with them." No job got rid of them because they all be like, I ain't really want to mess around there. I really want to leave anyway. It's always that nobody else says they want to get back because they feel that you should be privileged to be with them, and they always the lead. Think about it. Every player that left Dallas, they studied the person, made it look like they divorced those guys, those people. I'm going to give you some inside information about Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore left the Cowboys. Cowboys didn't leave Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore had a job before he even got out the end of the last game of the season. He had already had a job with Kansas, with the Chargers. Because Kellen Moore couldn't put up with Mike McCarthy because that was Mike McCarthy's offense. And the Cowboys tried to spin it that they got rid of him. Because they don't ever want to say nobody got rid of them. They don't want to ever say nobody left them. Micah is the first one to say something like that. And that's the stand-up we need to the arrogance in this organization. This organization should be trying to build and earn the right to be here. That science that says you got to earn the right. It's not a privilege. It's not it's earned to work here, to play here, and to be a fan. It's not a privilege. Are we privileged for some of these fans that just been around for 30 years and ain't won a damn thing in 30 years? I can say I won something. Some of these fans that came in the last 30 years ain't been in an NFC championship game. Do they should feel privileged? What makes them feel privileged? Jerry, tell me. Because you got the highest value franchise, what that got to do with the fans? How much money is that giving y'all? Anybody got some stock in the Cowboys? They getting paid? Because we the most seen out there. We seen talked about relentlessly. That was the star means when you talk about the fan base. Seen, talked about relentlessly. That makes us feel privileged. I thought when you should feel privilege is when you got an organization that you say every year that we are probably championship contenders. We might not win it every year, but we're going to be in big games like NFC championship games most times. We're going to be in Super Bowls. We're going to win a Super Bowl here and there. That means you can be privileged. Privilege is not getting those. So, Jerry, you should be trying to gain our fan base, our fandom. Not sitting back thinking we should be happy to be fans of yours. I ain't trying to run y'all away from being a Cowboy fan, but that's some BS right there. You ain't won in 30 years, but you trying to make us feel like we privileged to root for you. And you run through everybody in their contract and you give this undertone like they should be happy to be in Dallas. But guess what you don't do with all your superstars? You don't put them on the market where you got to bid against them. You don't put them in a place where they can take other contract offers. You ain't that bad, are you, Jerry? Think about it. Also, was the biggest thing. You know they signed him before he got a chance to start talking to other people? Because guess what? If our big time players was on the open market where they had to accept contract offers and accept other people how they treated them, most of our players would be going someplace else. But see, our fans think, no, they won't. They'll still be in Dallas. No, they wouldn't. The only reason they're in Dallas because they ain't got no other choice. Micah bidding against nobody else. He has to be traded, but he's been there. They ain't never let Troy Dak Prescott hit the open market. CeeDee Lamb didn't hit the open market. Zeke Elliott didn't hit the open market. Nobody hits the open market when they're good because we know that this BS that we do ain't going to compete with everybody else. Because as soon as somebody gives them a good contract and treat them like something and don't treat them with a bunch of BS, guess what the player going to do? He going to say, damn Dallas, and gone. Y'all think, no, he ain't. He going to stay here. No, he ain't. If Jared thought that Dallas was that great, put the guys in the open market. Let the market show you. You're bad. You in Dallas. You're the best thing going today. Let's test it out. Let's test it out, Jared. Let some of these guys go in the open market and let's see how it goes out. The money ain't going to be no different, but they're going to leave because of respect. So what you do, you try to make it seem like you compete with everybody else, but you're not. I know I might not get to my subscribers with this because some people gonna say, "Coach, you're being negative." I'm just telling you, just like it is. And if you listen to me, common sense would tell you, say, you know something, he right. He ain't told us nothing wrong. If Micah Parsons was in the open market and he had to take offers from everybody, the money ain't gonna be no different. Nobody gonna give no more money. The Cowboys get match the money. But I guarantee he'll pick another team just because of respect alone. And Jerry them are fearful of that. That's why they always try to like negotiating, but they ain't negotiating with nobody. They're not bidding against nobody. That's why they say they never get in a bidding war. The reason why the Cowboys don't get free agents is because when they sit them down, it ain't all about money. First, they're going to lowball you with money. But the other thing is, the other team's going to give you respect and show you one. They're not going to go in this feeling about you try to feel like the Cowboys try to make every free agent they try to sign feel like they yes, you should love to play for the Cowboys. There ain't no other place to play but the Cowboys. That's why they don't get free agents. Because other people know that the Cowboys ain't, listen, man, everybody don't love playing for the Cowboys. They might love the publicity for their second career. You think free agents, when y'all talking about free agents now, y'all think y'all gonna be able to get free agents later on in the after this, and they doing Micah Parsons like this? I want y'all to keep thinking about y'all gonna get some free agents. And if you do get some free agent, you gonna overpay for them because they know this BS. And you gonna overpay for somebody who ain't gonna be that good. If you do Micah like this, what other guy want to come here? And if you think that other people want to come here because we them boys, you part of the problem. So this problem right here got far-reaching negativity to this organization. But sometimes negativity and sometimes busting the bubble makes it right. Sometimes exposing what it's really about, gets it right. And I hope this is exposing the hypocrisy and the arrogance of the star in the front office. The stubborn, tumultuous, arrogant reactions. Now, this is the last time, hopefully, this is the last time during this training camp that Coach Marv is going to come on here and talk about two things. I'm not going to come on here and talk about contracts no doggone more, because that ain't got a damn thing to do with football and winning right now. I'm not going to come on here and talk about what the Jerry and them and how they treating people and what trade, because if Micah is here, is he not here? That don't mean we can't win without him. Our chances are better. Remember, I told you, nothing you do is a win or lose draw. The only thing you do is you try to increase your chances. And yes, with Micah, it increases our chances of win, but it doesn't guarantee it. And that's what you want to do in football. You want to make your chances better. That's in a play. You always go out and play. I'm telling you what coaches, what they call it. They want to make the play for your chances for it to work. They want to put you in the best opportunity for the chances of the play to work. But it's never a guarantee. But if you're working on the chances in your favor, guess what? Most times you win. Yeah, yes, Micah will increase the chances. But guess what? Micah could be on his team and hurt his knee the first play of the game. And we still have to go out there and play. And the culture of this team means that we've got to go, and we got enough talent on this team to dominate. It's just got to be risen to the top, and it's got to get focused, and it's got to get focused on humbleness and hurt and hunger. Got to get it from the damn dirt, people. If we think we're going to parlay say and Hollywood ourselves and big D ourselves and act like we them boys and not work harder than everybody else, it ain't happening. Because when we won in our heyday, for the people in the back, they ain't never came along with, do your research on this team when they won in their heyday. They outworked everybody. And they still was the partiers. They still was that flash. But when it came down to work, teams emulated what the Cowboys did. When the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl, they went in full tards, full uniform the whole week of practice. And I remember people asking Nate Newton when they said, why y'all in full pads? He said, you'll find out on Super Bowl Sunday. And they found out. They found out what? They won the first Super Bowl 59-17. The next one 30-10, 30-13. And they won their last Super Bowl 2 years. He said, you'll find out on Super Bowl Sunday. They was grinders. They was partiers. They had podcasts. They had whatever that time had shows. They were still the biggest media in the world. But when it came to football, it was no nonsense. If you could perform, you had to go. So if Micah's here or not, it's time to grind. And for all you fans to think that if it ain't here, oh, it's over, forget the Cowboys, or you want to throw the blame on Dak Prescott without looking at the team, then, like I said before, no diss to you. I love you, but you part of the problem. We got an opportunity, people. What I haven't seen in football for the longest, I see an opportunity for this team to dominate. But they got to get it from the mud. Now, I need y'all to help me, man. I love everybody in this chat. If you're not a subscriber of me on X, go and put me, subscribe to me, like me, follow me on X. That's at Coach Mob 1914. If you on this show, please repost this to your YouTube channel, to anything. and tell the people when you repost it, I want you to put in the comments the quote. I want you to tell people why you listen to Coach Marv. So somebody can click on that video because they say, hey, I listen to Coach Marv because of this and that, and they can try to get, and that can get my algorithms out there if you share this video. Also, comment. I've been getting some great comments in the thing. I read them, man. I'm gonna reach out and do that. But this was another thing I need to. If you hadn't subscribed to me, Coach Marv needs to get to 500. I'm at 408 of subscribers. I need to get to 500, as well as I need you to I want you to click on this video, but then I want you to go in and I want you to refresh yourself by watching the other videos that I have in my playlist so I can get these watch hours up. Because I want to get to the point where I can bring you better content with better platforms and stuff like that, because we're about to start talking football, man. I'm cutting all this stuff listen here. I'm a football coach. I ain't got time for that. Ain't not gonna win no games. All this back and forth about contracts. That contracts ain't never won a Super Bowl. Who having the high pick? They ain't never won a Super Bowl. They had never won a Super Bowl between the lines. It's good for drama and talk, but I'd rather be talking about how this team is getting better every week. Jared was right about one thing. Yeah, you can sign a player to get hurt. And he's right. But what he should be doing is, I'm not going to give no distraction for my head coach, and we're going to handle these things and get them out of the way so my coach can get these guys, as our coach said, calluses. See, Micah's not getting no calluses by sitting on the sideline drinking soda. And for everybody who out here thinks, and I'm getting people listen, for everybody think that Micah has arrived and he don't have to work and he's going to be great, he's going to have a worse year if he don't work. He has not arrived as a player. Once you think you arrived, that's the same thing I'm talking about with the arrogance from the Cowboys organization. See, we can't advance and not accept the arrogance by the front office, and then we give the same arrogance when it comes to our players about, well, we don't put them on butter wrap, they don't need to work. One thing about Coach Marv, I shoot it with straight with no Novocaine. If you want, you got to work. Will over rest kicks ass. And I'm going to say this right quick about Diggs. I can see somebody Diggs in the back. And I'm finna give it to you straight about Diggs. Some of y'all ain't going to like it, but I'm going to repeat what I said before. Diggs signed a poo-poo deal for the long term when he signed his deal back 3-4 years ago. It was great for him in the short term because he needed cash flow. But for the long term, the deal only, out of 91 million, only guaranteed about 41 million. That's less than half. That is a poo-poo deal. Deals don't guarantee less than 50%. You get a deal less than 50% guarantee, you just wanted money. Then. And when the deal gets to this year, it's out. Okay. And let's be realistic. We love Diggs, but been out a whole year. Been out half a year. In the 3 years, he done been out half the time. I'm not saying Diggs can't play, but listen. Yeah, they ripping him because it's a reason why they ripping him, because it's the exact same thing I've said before, and I'm going to give you what the real reason why they're ripping him. Because Diggs got a poo-poo deal. He understands that his deal is his guaranteed money is about gone. He understands they're ripping him because guess what? Even him being out, Diggs wanted to renegotiate his deal because guess what? He know at this time his deal really going to be, they can keep pushing the can down the road, but he ain't going to be getting no money. So he in a bad situation because he goes out there this year and let's say he comes in and plays all pro ball. Do the Cowboys get rid of him? His cap hit is extremely big next year because after your out clause, after you get finished out, your cap goes up. But guess what the Joneses can do? They can just kick the can. They can automatically do a contract restructure without him in it, and we can kick the can down the road. But guess what? He only going to be getting paid? That $8-9 million a year. And the rates for if he play all pro, the rates for those cornerbacks getting way more than that. And now he's going to feel like he's getting used, at least for 2 more years. He know you ain't going to sign Micah to a contract. He know he ain't going to never get no big contract. He's going to have to stay on that poo-poo deal until he get out of there. So he'd rather play all when they piss them off and let him release it so he can get a bigger contract someplace else. I'm not telling you nothing crazy. Think about it. But if y'all saying, oh man, you got to be in Dallas, he can stay there and the Joneses can kick his contract down the road, and he will not get me paid what top cornerbacks should get. Because you know we think, oh, that $90 million, it was a poo-poo deal for long term. For the short term, it gave him a boost. But for the long term, it was blah. Now he's stuck in that contract. So he'd rather promote himself, piss their ass off, and if they cut him after he have a great year, he'll sign someplace else and have and get some decent money, and he could be on a better deal. And then he won't be teetering every year that the Cowboys going to lease him, because they only going to they'll keep pushing this can down the road where he only have basically it'll just be 1 year deals for the rest of the 3 or 4 years. And do anybody want to be on that? No, he'd rather go someplace and get a solid deal, and he know it ain't gonna come from the Cowboys because they're not gonna restructure his deal he got already. So he know Diggs wants out of the Cowboys after this year, but he want a better contract. Look at this deal. You will understand what I'm telling you. But we get so tied up like, oh, the Cowboys, listen. Diggs don't care about all that. Diggs care about playing, balling out this year. That's why he want to be seen on every video showing he working out. And y'all think it's for the Cowboys' benefit. For the Cowboys and for us fans to say, oh, Diggs, man, he look good. Man, that's for the next team. He don't want to stay on that poo-poo deal because the Cowboys can kick it. Listen, after this year, they got an out where all his cap money is gone. If Diggs plays very well this year, the Cowboys can just throw in the kicker that they can restructure where they'll guarantee another $9 million, right? Kick his contract down the road. It's really just be a basic 1 year deal, because after that year, they can get rid of him with no cap hit, a very minimal cap hit. So what he'll be end up doing for the next 2 or 3 years is playing basically on a 1 year deal at low money. And guess what Diggs like? Man, damn that. I can go to some other team and get at least $11 million a year for 2 years guaranteed. If I play well, than to sit here teetering for the next 2 or 3 years with Dallas. Man, common sense, man. One thing what I say about the Cowboys, they play this game like this country right now. This country is lacking in common sense. Because if we had common sense, if we had common sense and critical thinking skills, there's no way that we'll fall for some of the stuff that we fall for. And the Cowboys talk to us in general terms, and that's why they always talk about salary cap and about how they pay people. But they don't tell you how the structure. They just want you to start thinking, this is all Dak for. He paying them $60 million. Because they think you're stupid. That's the arrogance. That's the stubborn, tumultuous, arrogant reactions. So people out there, please like, comment, and subscribe. Put it out there and say, hey, man, put a thing out there saying we're trying to get Coach, watch his videos. We need to get Coach video hours up to 3,000. We need to get Coach up to to the 500 subscribers, hopefully 1,000. If you remember some of these other content creators is in this chat, man, hey, I rock with these guys. It don't take you nothing but a thing to say, hey, I'm a subscriber to them. I'm going to subscribe with Coach Marv just because he rock with these guys, because that's what I do. Go out here and support these other content creators. They are out here just for us. But remember, we can't fall for the wee-woo. This John Wayne, I'm the boss, I can treat people any kind of way, this arrogance and making us feel like we so privileged, we got to be so privileged to deal with y'all, with the Cowboys, that ain't got nothing to do with winning. In actual fact, that's going to set a losing mentality. And the NFL knows that. The NFL, that's why the rest of the league and players know that the Cowboys think that they feel like they're privileged, that people, that they are their organization. That's why they call us front runners. That's why they laugh at us when they beat us. Earn the right to be respected. Let's get back to the work. Will over rest kicks ass. And let's get back to saying, hey, we're not trying to be a soap opera atmosphere. We're trying to sweat more in peace so we can bleed less in war. This is the last time Coach is going to talk about these. I'm going to talk about these topics, but it's the last time I'm going to dwell on this stuff with this soap opera thing. We about to come into our first preseason game in 1 week. We're in our second week of training camp. As a team, we're supposed to be getting better, tougher. Micah here or not, I still expect to damn it win. And you should expect to win. And do not build no excuses in for this team to settle for less. But let's call this ownership out what it is. And let's let this ownership know that we ain't stupid. And these things I talked about, review it. Look back over and say, you know something? What Coach said about Diggs, they ain't saying Diggs want to turn on us. Diggs already know he's trying to get another job for another team. He's not going to let the Cowboys use him on the back end of this deal for peanuts. Thank you, Micah, for standing up. And somebody needs to find out. Jerry needs to get off this thing. And don't listen, Micah. Sometimes when you say stuff, sometimes you got to go all the way out. But one thing I know about you, young man, you're going to be great if you're in Dallas or not. If you put the work in. And I know you want to get your butt out of Oxnard so you can go home and get to work. Or if you're going to be in Oxnard, get with your trainer. And let's see you on the sideline doing the same routines that you do when you're at home. Go to work, young man. Go to work. And I ain't telling you to put up with that. I'm with you. But I still think you need to work to get to your goal. Because getting a contract ain't going to make you great. It's only about work. And you can't rest on your laurels in this game. One thing about resting your laurels in this football game, you will get humbled the next play. Because it's all about the next play. It's all about the next down. It's all about the next quarter. It's all about the next half. It's all about the next game. It's all about the next year. What you did before, nobody cares. It's what you do right now. And how you prepared to do what you're going to do right now is what's going to really guarantee or put it in your favor for you to be good at. But if you don't work, it goes away. Because best believe the next offensive tackle out there, the next scheme is working for you. They go against you. And if you ain't outworked them, you're going to fail, my brother. I don't care how athletic you are. I know you that lion. Sitting around drinking Kool-Aid, running routes for Trayvon Diggs that you see on the sideline. That's not working. Do not let this soap opera thing get you in a point where you sitting for 2 weeks. If you worried about $50-some thousand, worried about a little money, don't worry about it. Consider that an investment in getting yourself ready for football. Because sitting there answering questions about some guy that ain't trying to answer, trying to play this big shot role, that ain't doing you no good. And I'm telling you that if you play for Dallas or anybody else. Because I'm concerned because I think you could be a great guy. I think you could be an all-time great. But you ain't got there yet. And if you're on this team, I need you to lead from the front. Look at my video when I said about Michael Parsons. What we need from him. What the expectations are going to be from him. And how to dominate from the front. That was one of my first videos. Looking at my playlist. And I ain't playing with you, man. Listen, I'm thinking about you, young man. I ain't thinking about what the Cowboys think. But sitting around, I can look at your face and look like your face done got bigger. You don't look like a lean, mean machine right now. Sitting around, going over to your people's house with the house y'all got rented in Oxnard is not good for you. And you falling into the trap that they setting. Because soon as they do try to set it and you ain't in shape, then they're going to say, they're going to put the public opinion against you. Get your butt out of Oxnard to go home and go back to work. And stop playing this media. You're a football player. Yes, let your agent handle the business, but you get back to work. Because you that lion. And don't fall for that wee-woo. Because there ain't nothing you can do about the arrogance of the Cowboys. That's just who they are. Stubborn, tumultuous, arrogant reactions is our front office. Face the facts, people. They feel that we privileged to be Cowboy fans. They're not trying to earn our fandom. They think that we could just because they that star, we're gonna be fans. Let them know that they gotta earn the right to be your fan. Now you earn my right. Show me from the dirt. That's what I like about football teams. That's why I'm a Cowboy fan. Because we went from the dirt. I always used to say back in the day, I said we could party like it. We could party with the best of them. We the best party people. But when it came down the field, every team said, hey, man, Cowboys, they bringing the wood. Now, they call us front runners. Micah, don't fall for this. They're trying to get you off of your thing and what they're trying to do is they're going to pay you, but then they're trying to mess up your back end money. I just gave y'all the nugget right before we got off. Tower Church, you on here. I want you to echo this. They're trying to mess up your back end money, Michael. Because see, they're going to sign you to a contract, and then you sitting around, you ain't in shape, then they're going to put you out there in a situation that you ain't ready for, and then when your production go down because you ain't ready, then they're going to say, we overpaid him. Then they're going to try to kill your back end money. See what I'm talking about? Hey, man. Micah, say damn that. I'm looking at it. Y'all looking at videos. Look at the videos y'all see of Micah. Face look big. When I saw CD Lamb last year, he looked a little swole, but face look big. You can't get in shape talking about your back hurt in Oxnard, walking around in tennis shoes. And see, when I say that, people think that I'm dissing Michael Parsons. No! Somebody got to hold accountable because what I told you about talent. Ain't but 4 things you're supposed to do with talent. I ain't telling Michael he need to go out there and train. I ain't telling him he need to go out there and practice. I understand what he got, what he's going on. But if it's hindering him from keeping himself in the tip-top shape, take his ass home and go back to the workouts that you were doing before Oxnard started. Then you ain't got to worry about reporting that your back hurt. That's why you ain't practicing. Because the expectations is going to change. Because if you do get a contract from the Cowboys, let me tell you what our fans going to do for you, Micah. They're going to put unrealistic expectations on you. If you get 17 sacks and we don't win, they're going to think you should have got 34. And if you ain't ready, they ain't going to give a damn about that you've been sitting around waiting on the contract and that's why you had a sluggish start. They ain't going to care nothing about that. And for your own thing, for your competitiveness, to compete in you, you should never let nobody stop your flow of getting better. And I ain't saying you're supposed to practice. I ain't saying you're supposed to break. But if this ain't what they ain't ready to talk, you a game a week, tell you, and listen here, you think Schottenheimer be worried about you not out there? He'll respect you. Schottenheimer's Schottenheimer been around this game long enough. He respect that. But see, you falling for the wee-woo because they like you sitting around getting out of shape. Because they can try to mess up your back end money. As soon as you go out there and you pull a hamstring, the first practice, they sign you the contract, you pull a hamstring, then they're going to try to talk like you try to make you be the problem. Yeah, I'll tell you, man. That's how this team work, man. And that's not going to help your team. It may sound crazy. Some people say you don't want to lose that money for an Oxnard because they're going to be finding you so-and-so. Man, you make that money back up. You'll make it back up. Go home and get yourself in shape. Get back to those workouts that you get back to that lean, mean machine you got. You done had 2 weeks to sit around drinking Kool-Aid, sitting around, going out to your family house in Oxnard. I know you're a young man, so I know your eating habits is off. You start eating. Listen, man, you're young. I understand that. Man, get yourself back together. Don't play football. Don't play it short. Don't play football thinking that you don't have to do nothing. You arrive. I hear people always say there's people out there do that. That's 1 out of 100, and you ain't that 1 out of 100. Don't play that game, because football has a tendency to humble people when they don't work. I played. I coached. I already knew when I played how hard I worked during the week, how my game was going to end up. And it never failed. When I BS, it just ain't snap. It just ain't pop. When I coached, when I just felt that I didn't put enough into it, but preparing my players, listen, this game has a humbling sense. And damn sure the people that don't sweat more in peace, they gonna bleed when war comes. Best believe that. They might not bleed against the weaker competition, but when they get to the competition that's good as just as good as them, they're gonna bleed like a hog that you cut in the back of the neck to hang him up the cook. Because when it comes down to when you meet guys just as good, it comes about who got the will, who's got the work, who's got the persistence, and got the dog in them. And I ain't questioning your dog, brother. I ain't questioning your dog. But the best dogs better stay in shape when they meet the next dog. And sit around in Nikes, running fake patterns with Trayvon Diggs as he do his work on the sideline. That ain't gonna cut it, buddy. And I'm not getting on your case. I'm telling you what your coaches should be telling you. Call me whatever you want to do that. Because there ain't but 4 things you're supposed to do with talented players. Motivate them, refine their skills, hold them accountable, and put them in the right spot to be great. And sitting around doing nothing, waiting on the Joneses talking because you're trying to save money, that's not making you a better player. Take your butt home to Dallas and show me some workout videos. Show us that you in the dungeon again, working out. Your teammates understand. Your coaches understand. They might not say that, but they understand. And don't say nothing else about these contracts. If they say something about, people ask you about what you said, tell them to go look up the last article and interpret it how they want to interpret it. And if he tell you you're going to be on a franchise tag, I have no problem with you saying, hey, that's how it goes. But I'll be healthy when my next contract come up with my next team. If it takes 2 to 3 years, I'm going to be healthy. And I will tell you to take it just like whatever the statement says. And they ask you how that means, yeah, I'm going to be healthy in the next 2 years. I'm a damn sure try to be healthy. Because when it gets to a corner of me hurting myself, hey, I'm gonna go with the person who's dedicated. I'm dedicated to myself. I can see y'all not dedicated because y'all ain't signed me to extension. And if y'all want to say I'm a negative Cowboy fan, just call it like it is, buddy. Because I see this mentality. I see this every day when I'm watching this country. Y'all need to start to see how it's bleeding down to others. It started to bleed down and start the same mentality where you may have been out of it, but sometimes it started bleeding in the same stuff that you like. Arrogance. Stubborn, tumultuous, arrogant reactions. That's what it started meaning right now in front office. People, I've been with y'all more than I wanted to, not more than I want to be. I want to be with y'all for, I seen my other people like Jay Tuck, man. He was so up, man. He was on there for 8-9 hours. I'm sorry I missed it. Be getting on there. I don't never see Jay Tuck. Hopefully Jay Tuck could get out there and he'll come in and chime in on my show. Hoping I can get a chance to talk to him, man. It was a great masterpiece of work he did. All these guys, the collective, Amp, Tyrone, all these people, man, have put out some great stuff about going on. Uncle Charles, thank you, man, for coming in and sharing with me, man. All these people have poured into me and an old coach that didn't know anything about it and still mess it up on this YouTube thing because I still ain't got the technical work. But hey, I'm gonna give it to you straight with no can. And if y'all just go back, if you came in late, go back and watch the rest of this video. And y'all look at it, man. And some of the things, the scenarios I went over, man, just think about it, man. It's common sense, man. And this is what this organization thinks. They think that we don't think in common sense terms. They put it right in front of our eyes, and they put this content over it because they think we got our star-covered eyes that makes us blind to common sense thinking. It ain't. It ain't hard to think about. And like I said, man, God made this life relative, man. Everything's relative. God didn't make a whole lot of different paths of how to do things. There's different scenarios, but the basic principles of how you have to go through things to work the levels, it's all relative. And ain't nothing new under the sun. And pride is something that God can't do. And pride is supposed to fall. And that's what this organization is showing. They don't want to think nobody divorced them. They got y'all fooled to think that nobody leaves the Cowboys. They always be the one that's filed for divorce. I'm glad that Micah put the paperwork out there say, I want to file for divorce and put it out on Front Street. Now they're saying, oh, we're not going to give you the divorce. And I want Micah to reiterate it again. I don't care about what he say. I want out. Sometimes we got to get slapped in the face and make some change. But Jerry, think about your head coach here. He's trying to win games. He's not trying to win a reality TV award. Until next time, people, I love you. Big time show. I know you probably going on next or sometime tomorrow, man. I'm gonna be watching your show. Thank you for timing in. All y'all that's in this chat, Church, D Block, uh, um, uh, 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 Cowboy, man, all y'all, man, Keystone, all these guys, man, that chimed in with old Coach Marv, man. Thank y'all so much. Share this video. Let's get Coach Marv to 500 subscribers so he can try to make a little money. So when he come to Dallas, Cowboy fans, Coach Marv is trying to get to Dallas so he can do a show in Dallas. Now, I got my ticket, working on, the plane fight, got that, man. It's a challenge, man. So if you get me up to 500, if you want to cash app to help with this trip, because I'm coming to Dallas so I can do a show, and I'm coming to Dallas on September 28th when we have a Sunday night game against the Green Bay Packers, and I'm coming with some of my friends that been friends for 50 years, and one of those guys we're gonna turn into a Cowboy fan because he's been 50 some years. He's been a Green Bay Packer fan, and he's gonna be there in Dallas with me. So if you cash out me, man, PBS, $ PBS 222, all that's gonna go to enhance this channel and for me to be there and to be able to go live when I get to Dallas. If not, just try to get share my stuff and watch it and watch my watch list so you can get me up with the viewing hours. And those things will help me, man, so I can get monetized, and then y'all can start sending super chats and we can really hone into y'all questions and everything. But again, man, thank you, man. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. And listen, regardless of what's going on with Micah Parsons, we got a good damn football team. We just got to work and be humble and make it from the dirt. Because those who sweat more in peace bleed less in war. Peace. I'm out.